Okay. 3 weeks ago, I wrote a speech. But tonight, my soul is telling me not to deliver the speech, and I'm not going to deliver the speech. It is certainly for another time, another opportunity, maybe in August, maybe another time. But I went to see Professor Molefi Asante. He's a great professor. When I was finishing my research, I read I cannot read all his 72 books, but I read a couple of pages, and I read some of his books, and I was very, very impressed. Very, very impressed. So when we hear people coming here and they say that, you know, Africans or black people talk, but they don't have any plan, it is not true. Yes, it's not true. So we hear that often, but it's not true. If you take your time to go and read Professor Molefi Asante's books, you will see that he has read Du Bois, Garvey, and all those people, and he brought his new dimension in the Pan-African scholarship. So I went to his office, and I saw somebody who was very, very simple, humble, and then the title of my speech, in fact, was the title of a book I saw on his bookshelf, and this I realized that that God is working in mysterious ways. I did not expect him to be that simple, and I was happy, and he came here. And my friend who introduced me to Molefi Asante told me that if Molefi Asante said that he's going to come, he's going to be there. That's right. And then he proved it today, and maybe he was surrounded by... So with thinkers and leaders like Molefi Asante, we know that we have the right tools and methodology and strategy to try and empower the African community and the global African community. So I want us to thank Professor Molefi Asante for his brilliant presentation. Let's thank also Peter Bailey. I did not know Peter Bailey. I met him through Randy. And he told me that he was a Malcolmite. That was the first time I heard that word. And I told Randy, we organize this forum so that all the ites can come together. The Malcolmites, the Garveyites, the Asanteites, and the Sankarites, so that we can come together and then see how we can, support each other. And I'm glad he was here, and then we're honored to have him, and he spoke wonderfully. And I think he enlightened somebody in this room. Let's give a round of applause to Peter Bailey. Third person is Maurice Kane. He's from Jamaica. He speaks French, and then of course he speaks Patois and English. And Maurice Kane is the director of the Friends of the Congo, and Randy Short is part of the organization, and then the brother Paul over there is also part of the organization. They have been doing a wonderful job, because they have at heart the issues of Africa and the challenges facing Congo. And then I respect him greatly, and then he's been, I promise that when we have the opportunity, he's going to speak, and I think he enlightened us about the plight of Congo. Let's give a round of applause to Maurice Kane. Shioma Olu, a powerful lady. We were supposed to have Sama, and she was dealing with some issues because she's moving to Connecticut to finish a PhD program, and she could not be here. And then we had to replace her, and I wanted to choose a man, and then Maurice Kane insisted, and that we replace a woman by another woman because we cannot say we Pan-Africanists, and on the panel we don't have a lady. That's right. And I think he was right. And so thank Maurice Kane for that. And then Chioma did a great job. And another thing I wanted to say, I wanted to thank my friends. There are a couple of people I know who've been supporting me. The Sankaras family, they are part of this group. We have Deborah, George, Frank, and Kofi, and Abu. We're coming together, and then we are trying. We are trying, and I want all of you to understand that we are trying. And then for this conference, we put our monies together, because one person called me and asked me, who sponsored the conference? And I say, it is our monies we put together to organize this conference. Okay, and this is our 7th conference, and we never it's not because we don't need money. We never ask anybody to, we don't do like in church, to ask people to give money. We don't do that. Because we know each other, we know Africans, and we know black people. Okay, so when there are people who trust us, or my friends, we put our monies together, when we come, we pay this room, it's $779.82, and then we know that we have it, then we invite people, and then we come, and then so that we can fellowship, and so that we can debate. Because we need to own the debate about our own issues, and it is not normal that to have the U.S. Institute of Peace and all those organizations debate about our issues. So that's why we're doing this. We are not perfect. We are far from being perfect. There are certainly some flaws in the organization. But if we don't learn to trust each other as black people, there is no way we're going to build the unity we want to build. So we are going to support each other, understand that we have to be patient with each other, and then this is what we need to do so that we can build a strong unity among ourselves. So I want to thank my friends. There is Esther Beoulou, who pass out the flyer, Delma Sirigale, Abu Kuyate, Abu Fofana, Georges Duncan, Frank Obia. These are the people who put this conference together, and I hope I haven't forgotten some names. Thank also Randy Shaw, the moderator of the debate. Is going through a lot. I did not want him to moderate the debate, but I did not have many people I could count on, and he did a wonderful job because we started a little bit late. We needed somebody who could talk and speak, so that people could be patient, and he did a wonderful job. He wrote the media advisory. Let's give a round of applause to the moderator, Randy Shaw. Let's also give a round of applause to Netfa Freeman. He is an activist. He works with WFPW on 89.3. Okay, I don't know how to say that. I always struggle with those lawyers. So he put for the first time the conference was advertised on 89.3 because of NetFi. He wanted to support our efforts. So I thank you, I appreciate you, brother. And also, one more thing I wanted to say. If I forgot something, you can correct me. Did I forget anything?
Yes, you forgot to say thank you to your woman.
Yeah, okay. My better half, yeah, she's outside.
No, but she needs to say
my better half, she's outside. I want to thank Dr. Racine. She's Dr. Racine? Yes. Dr. Racine is she teaches at UDC. She's been supportive of what I try to do with her, very patient. And then she heard about the conference, and she told me that she was coming. I was surprised, and I saw her. She even brought a guest, I think her sister. I'd like to thank you, Dr. Racine. And there was a beautiful young lady over there. She was a white lady. She's from Croatia. Her husband is African American. She's my student. And she decided to come, and she brought a family-in-law. I wanted to thank her. She's not here, but I wanted to thank her.
Yeah, my nephew, Kaya Carter.
Okay. Yeah, Dr. Bolivia Sante nephew, Kaya. We also thank you.
Anna.
Okay. Now, Anna Mwalago, we always praise her. She's going to come and perform one thing, and then if I forgot something, I'm sorry. We are going to try and do this conference. Maybe we schedule a conference in two months. We will try. If you think that we seem to be serious, if you think that we are trying, and you think that we are persistent, and we don't say that we're doing an excellent job, if you want to support, you can talk to me, talk to some of my friends, and this is our passion. Nobody pays us for that. We do that with joy. Because if I was not doing this, if we were not doing this, I was not going to have to be in contact with Professor Molefi Asante. For me, it was at the peak of a mountain somewhere at Temple University. So this is how we can connect and know each other and know what we do. This is how we can build a Pan-African coalition. And we need to bridge that gap between Africans and people of African descent. It is through a forum like this one that we can do that and be supportive of each other. Anna Mwalago, thank you very much.
Before we end, I just wanted to do one poem to encourage us about culture. Before I came to the United States, I'm from Kenya, and I was very excited, you know. When you were in Africa, you always see movies and TVs about America. And I started wearing those baggy jeans and singing the rap songs because that's what they were showing me on TV. Then when I came to America, I saw how so many people were not really representing Africa in a positive light. So I decided I would be one of them because where I was coming from, I was not hungry. I was not a person who did not have food. But all I saw on TV were children who were dying. I'm not saying that Africa doesn't have both negative and positive. It has. So does any other country in the world. So because of that, I wrote this poem so that today, when you come out of here, you celebrate your culture. You celebrate who you are. And one more thing, God gave me the blessing of going back to Kenya. And when I went there, I realized one thing. We people who are here, who know better now, we have the opportunity to teach the children at home. Because they are still watching the American media. They are still dancing to the rap music. And they are still enjoying that. So it's our duty now to teach them and tell them what is going on in their own backyard. While we are far away, we can see it. They don't seem to see what's going on. I also have a CD with me, and I will be selling it outside. I also want to give a shout out to my husband. He supports me. So without him, I would not have been able to be here today because he's the one who drove me here. But I just also want to say thank you. And this poem is for all of us. It's called Bring in the Flavor. Usicheze na ule moto we, utakuja we. Ujichoma we, usicheze na ule moto we, utakuja we. Ujichoma we, usicheze na ule moto we, utakuja we. Ujichoma we. As I speak, rhymes flow into my mind, and as I blaze the stage, I hope you will relate and comprehend my linguistic phrases as I speak your dialectic phrases and use my accentual tongue to bless thee with words of wisdom. I am a victim of discrimination. No, not because I'm black, and sure enough I ain't white, because I am an immigrant, an alien, a foreigner. See, I speak the same words, comprehend the same phrases, but just because my tongue rolls in a different way, that don't mean I'm dumb. And see, yes, comprende English. Because I probably speak and know more English than you. See, I'm tired of being labeled. People talking to me slowly like I'm dumb, having some disability of some sort. Shoot. Disability ain't nobody's choosing. But sister, brother, I am fine. 100% sane. Matter of fact, much better than you in many ways than one. I mean, if you cannot say my name right, moi, la, ro, then you have no right to tell me to say water if I know it as water. I mean, what is the meaning of this conversation and what is the purpose of communication? To drink water or to say water? So, honey child, please, if you have not walked in my shoes, you have not sat in my world, and don't you dare command me to walk in your shoes, because I love the smell of my feet, the feel of my shoes, and the history of my life. I mean, have you ever seen a monkey before? I mean, do you know what it does? How it jumps? Have you had the pleasure of walking bare feet, feeling the sand tickling your toes? Have you been cramped up in a bus, loaded with people, each talking their own languages but their faces looking so similar? Have you had the pleasure of dancing to the rhythm of the drums, and the music of the ululation? Making you feel so exhilarated? See, you cannot understand, just like I do not understand the Halloween madness, the calling before coming to visit, the biggest sale of the year, the and the time clock moving forward and backwards. Hey, my ways are not your ways, and your ways cannot be mine. So please don't try to change me, because I have no pleasure in asking you to change, for I love you anyway. Whether Hispanic, African, American, Indian, Asian, we are all God's children. So why can't we relate, love our difference, exterminate our ignorance that is killing us, and bring flavor into this world? Thank you.
Can't you get a standing ovation, y'all? Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. Give it up for her.
Je m'appelle Patricia Akoun et j'ai bien aimé la conférence parce que j'en ai appris beaucoup, surtout venant des Américains qui se mobilisent pour notre continent, l'Afrique. Ça nous fait réfléchir, ça nous fait vraiment réfléchir. Il faut qu'on s'y mette ensemble pour délivrer l'Afrique.
Okay. Voilà, moi c'est Lydie Sankara, très heureuse d'être là ce soir, de participer à la conférence et que cela se passe tout le temps, quoi, parce que la lutte, c'est pas, ça ne se passe pas qu'un seul jour. Vous voyez, le combat est très dur, mais avec la persévérance, je pense qu'on va aboutir.
Merci. I'm Maurice Carney with Friends of the Congo. I'm a co-founder and executive director. In regard to the Pan-African Conference today, I think it was a remarkable organizing effort by GNAKA. The Pan-African Conference today reminds me of the Pan-African conferences that in Nkrumah, Du Bois, Sylvester Williams, and all of those people who came before us participated in. So we certainly building on a tradition, and we look forward to hosting and organizing other conferences so people of African ancestry from all around the world can join us in building this Nkrumah's dream of a unified Africa, the United States of Africa. So for all you who are watching me and listening, we encourage you to join us. We encourage you to get involved. Young people are on the march and taking our own destiny in our own hands to bring about lasting change and human dignity on the African continent.
Obi Egbuna, the U.S. correspondent to the Herald, the national newspaper of Zimbabwe. I was here today to talk about this being the 10th anniversary of the Zimbabwe Democracy Economic Recovery Act of 2001, which are sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe. United States, European Union sanctions imposed on Zimbabwe. For the third year in a row, U.S. President Barack Obama has used his executive order to renew these sanctions, even though the Southern African Development Community, the collective diplomatic organ of Southern Africa as a region, has been in resistance of these sanctions for 10 years, even though the African Union as a collective unit has been against these sanctions, even though the non-aligned movement have been against these sanctions. And this is a classic example of Africans in the diaspora and Africans on the continent not being on the same page. At a moment in history where we focus on military warfare, traditional warfare, guns, bombs, planes, more than sanctions. And these are the type of sanctions that are in tradition of the sanctions imposed by former U.S. Secretary of State Madeleine Albright that left 2 million Iraqis dead in the streets of Iraq. These are sanctions in the form of the blockade on Cuba, which is approaching its 50th year, which has cost the Cuban Revolution $97 billion. These sanctions are aimed at destroying Zimbabwe's educational infrastructure, where they have a 97% literacy rate, destroying the agricultural sector of the country, where 350,000 families have received land from the land reclamation program. These sanctions are a vindictive response to the land reclamation program of Zimbabwe. These sanctions are trying to undermine the Diamond Initiative in Zimbabwe and the Indigenization Initiative, where any business, foreign business in the country has to be overseen by the indigenous people. So we're saying Zimbabwe forever, these sanctions never. U.S.-EU sanctions aimed at trying to force a U.S.-EU motivated and inspired regime change in Zimbabwe, using the sanctions as a vehicle to carry out this genocidal objective. Zimbabwe forever, U.S.-EU sanctions never.
Thank you.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm fine.
And what are your thoughts about the conference?
Oh, that was wonderful. One of the objectives why I was here is to see how people can come together and contribute, because as I said,
I always said, the development of Africa, the head tier of Africa will come from African people themselves. We have to stop finding the excuse about why people doing this, why people doing that. If the African people can start understand that we have to come together and try to find the solution about how to promote Africa for the better life, how to start canceling some problem in Africa that lack us to develop, it will be a wonderful thing. And I'm very satisfied with this conference today because many have been saying, and it's on my expectation that I heard everything that I think should be done, that Africa can prosper. So my name is Dudu Teklengule. I'm from Cameroon. I met Ivoire TV 1 or 2 times already, and I'm going to that direction because I'm creating my online TV too, which is PanAfric TV, and we're gonna work together like a partner. They have their editorial, I have mine. Mine is to open speech from Africa. Every African people can come and speak out his experience and what he think we can do to help Africa to develop, and that is one of the objectives why I came to this Pan-African, and I will be glad to be members of them to give my experience to help our people back home.
Would you like to share your thoughts about the event?
Oh, yes, definitely. It was very, very good. I mean, as usual, just to have Africans all coming together, that's whatever we talk about, it's okay. I hope next time we can have more of a plan, and which is a lot of people were concerned about that, and also speak about how the history of Africa can teach us to do things better in the future, because it's been done before and we just keep forgetting about it. I always speak about the history and I think people get tired of me, but that's what I want to do. So yeah, so I had a good time. It was nice to see everyone again and liaison. I hope more Africans can come, especially Africans here in New York. As far as New York, Connecticut, there's a lot of us. There are a lot of us, yeah. Oh, my name is Bongile Makaya.
And I'm here with performing and recording artist Anna Walago, who's just finished performing at the Pan-African Conference in Rockville, Maryland. She has some thoughts to share, and we'd like her to do that.
Hi everyone, and I'm happy to have been a part of this. What do you want me to say? I enjoyed the conference. It was beautiful. The concept of United States of Africa is one that now needs to be used or activated. Let's not talk only about it, let's be about it. And this is what I do, and this is my new CD, by the way, and the CD is about Africa, promoting Africa in a positive light. We've always heard about this and this, but African are beautiful people. Africa in itself is the richest continent in the world. We have gold, we have rubber, we have cocoa, we have diamonds, we have coltan that makes all the cell phones and computers and PlayStations. What you talking about? We just need to unite, you know, as they say, no Uncle Toms, no traitors. Come together, fight for Africa, unite for Africa, make policies for ourselves. Let us not accept other people to dictate what they want for Africa. Let us be the ones who say, this is what we want for Africa. So children, men, women, mothers, fathers, everyone, United States for Africa.
Vous l'avez découvert ici. Que vous avez découvert Ivoire TV. Ivoire TV.